the Acetaminophen Clinical Toxicity Tool. The Acetaminophen Clinical Toxicity Tool, ACT, is available in the iPhone and many other platforms. This invaluable support tool gives the physicians the practical knowledge they need to manage medically acetaminophen toxicity. Included in this tool is the ability to diagnose and understand when acetaminophen toxicity occurs based on the Rummack-Matthew Nomogram for hepatotoxicity. This tool simplifies and aids the decision approach by giving the possible hepatotoxicity range when plotted on the Rummack-Matthew Nomogram. The tool will give the recommended effective treatment for acetaminophen poisoning. The tool will aid the physician by using the acetaminophen serum concentration to determine the need for acetylcysteine therapy, NAC, which is the antidote for acetaminophen toxicity. This tool will help aid the physician to determine the weight-based dosage for the antidote and the ability to call the Poison Control Center hotline for contacting the poison center if clinically needed. Let this demonstration show you how useful the ACT tool, the Acetaminophen Clinical Toxicity Tool, can be for your practice. Let's first open the ACT tool icon on your iPhone or BlackBerry. This will open the first page of the Acetaminophen Clinical Toxicity Tool. The next page will follow and display the page called Time Post-Overdose. This is where the physician will estimate the post-overdose in hours and minutes. This will help in calculating the approximate time when an intentional overdose may have occurred. This information will be obtained from the patient or immediate family. The amount of what was taken and the medication name and the dose will aid the physician in treating any overdose. This information may also be obtained from the medication bottles brought by the family or the patient. The physician then enters the time by flipping up or down the hours and minutes displayed by the tool. Then, the calculated ingestion acetaminophen level is determined when selected by the physician. This calculated acetaminophen level is based on the Rummack-Matthew Nomogram. The physician then enters the measured serum acetaminophen level drawn by the laboratory on the next page. In this demonstration, let's assume that the patient took the medication 4 hours and 0 minutes ago, according to the patient's family. The physician then enters 4 hours and 0 minutes on the tool. Recorded in this tool is then the calculated acetaminophen level of 149.36 micrograms per ml. This is the calculated acetaminophen level based on the Rummack-Matthew Nomogram after 4 hours post-ingestion. The physician then enters the measured serum acetaminophen level drawn by the laboratory and then determines whether toxicity occurs. In this demonstration, the physician entered 160 micrograms per ml as the measured serum acetaminophen level drawn by the laboratory. He then determines the toxicity. In this demonstration, there is an indication of a possible risk of hepatotoxicity. Therefore, an indication for treatment with an antidote called N-acetylcysteine, NAC, is warranted. The administration of NAC should not be delayed. Repeating the serum acetaminophen level after 4 hours should be considered if the initial level is below the calculated treatment level, and repeat the above steps. The physician then may go to the treatment dosage with the antidote NAC. If the physician feels it's necessary to contact the National Poison Center hotline, this is available for judicious consultation with a regional poison control center by calling 1-800-222-1222. Within this ACT tool, the physician can immediately call the National Poison Control Center hotline. In this demonstration, we can see how easy it is to call the National Poison Control Center hotline, which is available for judicious consultation if need be. If there's an indication of possible risk of hepatotoxicity, the treatment with an antidote called N-acetylcysteine, NAC, is warranted. By pressing the treatment dosage icon for the NAC antidote, the tool can calculate the antidote dosage based by entering the patient's weight in either pounds or kilograms. This tool will give the physician two treatment options by either PO or intravenous treatment. As you can see in this demonstration, the physician entered 125 pounds and selected the PO treatment route. Here within the tool, the antidote dosage, oral NAC, can be given with a loading dose, 140 milligrams per kilogram, and in this example, 8 grams, to be given thereafter additional dosages based on 70 milligrams per kilogram every 4 hours times 17 additional dosages at 4 grams. Within this ACT tool, the use of intravenous NAC antidote is used if unavailable to tolerate PO, or if the patient has gastrointestinal bleeding, or the patient is pregnant, or if there is evidence of fulminant hepatic failure is clinically occurring. Here the physician enters then the patient's weight and chooses the IV treatment option. Here within the tool, the IV NAC antidote based on the patient's previous weight shows a loading dose of 8.2 grams, then the first maintenance dosage 2.7 grams, and then the second maintenance dosage 5.5 grams. 150 milligrams per kilogram loading dose over 1 hour IV piggyback, then 50 milligrams per kilogram over 4 hours. Then a second maintenance dosage of 100 milligrams per kilogram over 16 hours. Each diluted in dextrose 5% water, 500 mLs. The physician should use the IV NAC antidote if unable again to tolerate PO, if there's evidence of GI bleeding, there's evidence of pregnancy, or fulminant hepatic failure. Also, be aware that IV NAC is associated with anaphylactoid reactions, most of which is mild and easily treated. The information on the website www.toxicityapp.net or the ACT tool is provided for general information purpose only and is not intended to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment by a qualified medical professional. You may contact the CEO of the Toxicity Clinical Tool by calling Richard Prager, MD, FCCP, either by phone at 305-322-4116 or by email at max4252@bellsouth.net. This concludes the demonstration of the ACT tool. Thank you for your attention.